With green wooden shutters, small glass pane windows, and a shingled roof, this small white house could look misplaced in this modern-day cul-de-sac in Lawnside, New Jersey. However, the Peter Mott house is a window into the 19th century as one man and his wife used their home as a haven for escaped slaves fleeing north to freedom on the Underground Railroad.
People on the run searching for freedom had to deal with anxiety and concern about potential capture, but also the excitement and exhilaration of freedom, not too far distant. So it was an exciting time, but it was also fraught with danger, as they could be captured or reported or suspected of being escaped enslaved people. Enslaved people may have been escaping from the Upper South, from slaveholding states like Delaware and Maryland, but they could also be coming from areas within so-called free states. New Jersey was considered a free state, but slavery actually existed here until it was formally eradicated with the passage of the 13th Amendment in 1866.
Linda Shockley serves as the president of the Lawnside Historical Society. As president, she, along with fellow board members, past and present, are tasked with preserving the historical significance of this house turned museum.
It's really exciting to have a museum like this in such a small town, Lawnside, New Jersey, the only incorporated African American municipality in the northern United States. And the reason that this community exists is because free people settled here as early as the 1700s and invited others to come and stay here. And the Peter Mott himself may have been born enslaved, but we know he lived as a free person, and even though he was free, he thought it was important to help others accomplish the same status that he enjoyed. I think people don't realize how important it was and how significant it was for an African American man to have a house of this size in the 1800s. The fact that the house was 2 stories and several rooms indicates that he was a man of stature. And we know that Peter was the Sunday school superintendent at Mount Pisgah AME Church, but he also sold property to other free African Americans in this community. So some of the streets surrounding this house are named for people that he sold property to. So that means that he also had a significant role in the development of the town and the spiritual growth of people as the Sunday school superintendent at Mount Pisgah AME Church.
Peter Mott, an African American farmer, and his wife, Elizabeth Ann, constructed this house around 1844 and resided there until 1879. Many people would assume that escaping to a northern state like New Jersey was safe, but that wasn't always the case.
People who were escaping on the Underground Railroad faced the danger of starvation, physical exhaustion, but also capture, being detected, reported, and turned in to people who were looking for rewards or bounties. But they also had that concern that once they accomplished their freedom and reached a free state or community, that they could be hunted down and returned to slavery. Likewise, free African Americans also faced the possibility of being captured and accused of being an escaped person because of the Missouri Compromise, the federal government enacted a law that required other people to be deputized to capture people, and also said that a person who was accused of being an escapee really had no rights in court, and then so therefore could not contest the fact that someone said, well, this is an escaped person, and therefore they should be turned over and taken into slavery. One of the penalties also for people who assisted those escaping was to be fined and or jailed. And in the case of African Americans in Delaware, for instance, the penalty was to be sold into slavery oneself, whether you had ever been enslaved or not.
During his time as a freedom fighter, Peter Mott became an influential local leader and served as a minister to Snow Hill Church, which was later named Mount Pisgah AME Church, which still stands today.
Well, the legacy of Peter Mott is the importance of courage, commitment, and principle to stand for what you believe. He actually endangered himself and put his life on the line in order to help other people accomplish their freedom. And so I think it's important, as we look at many of the societal ills that we face and injustices around the world, that remember this person who thought that it was his duty to help his fellow man escape slavery and injustice.
Through bravery and selflessness, Peter and his wife Elizabeth changed the lives of many looking for freedom, and his legacy lives on today through the Lawnside Historical Society.